An Olympic gold medalist just walked onto one of music's biggest stages, and what she said next made the entire crowd go silent. She is the GOAT of music. She lent her voice and music by narrating a video introducing me and the other Blade Angels. I gotta say, I think that's why we won. She didn't just present an award. She didn't just say a nice compliment. She looked out at thousands of people, grabbed that mic, and said 7 words that officially ended every single debate. But here's what nobody is talking about. The reason she said it will completely change how you see this moment. Because this wasn't just about music. This wasn't just about awards. This was about 2 women from 2 completely different worlds who both refused to be told what they couldn't do. And by the end of tonight, you're going to understand exactly why this is one of the most powerful moments of the year. If you've ever been doubted, if you've ever been counted out, if you've ever been told your dream wasn't worth chasing, this moment was made for you. Let's rewind to Thursday night, Los Angeles, the iHeartRadio Music Awards. The energy in that room was already electric, but nobody, and I mean nobody, expected what was about to happen next. Because walking onto that stage wasn't a fellow musician, wasn't a Hollywood A-lister, wasn't a longtime industry veteran. It was Alysa Liu, a 20-year-old figure skater who just 2 months ago was flying across the ice at the Milan Cortina Winter Olympics. And she wasn't just there to clap from the audience. She was there to present awards. Not 1 award, not 2, but 6 awards back-to-back to the same person. Now, ask yourself, when was the last time you saw that happen? Stay with me because this gets so much better. Before we get into what she said, you need to understand who Alysa Liu actually is because this moment hits completely different once you know her story. At just 16 years old, when most teenagers are worried about homework, Alysa Liu had already become one of the most talked about figure skaters in America. And then she did something that shocked the entire sports world. She retired. 16 gone done. Walking away from everything she had built. But here's where it gets interesting. 2 years later, she came back. And she didn't just come back quietly. She came back louder, more fearless, more herself than ever before. At the 2026 Milan Cortina Games, Alysa took the ice for her free skate, and she performed to Donna Summer's MacArthur Park in a way that made people forget to breathe. She wasn't just competing, she was performing, she was living on that ice. She won gold in the team event. She won gold in the individual event. 2 golds one night. One woman who refused to let her story end at 16. And that is the woman who walked onto the iHeartRadio stage and changed everything. Keep watching because what she said next will give you chills. So picture this. The crowd is buzzing. The cameras are rolling. Thousands of people packed into that venue and millions more watching from home. Alysa Liu steps to the mic, poised, confident, glowing, and then she says it. She is the GOAT of music. 5 words. Just 5 words. And the room erupted. But she didn't stop there because Alysa had a reason. A real reason. Not just hype. Not just flattery. She explained that Taylor Swift had personally narrated the hype video introducing her and the Blade Angels, the 3 American figure skaters, Team USA, ahead of their Olympic performances. And then Alysa said something that made everyone laugh and cheer at the same time. She said, and I'm paraphrasing, "I think that's why we won." Think about that for a second. An Olympic gold medalist is giving partial credit for her gold medal to Taylor Swift's narration. That's not just a compliment. That's a statement. And then came the awards. Artist of the Year, Album of the Year, Pop Song of the Year, Best Lyrics, Best Music Video, Favorite Tour Style, 6 awards, presented one by an Olympic champion to the self-proclaimed GOAT of music. And the night wasn't even over yet, because earlier Taylor had already picked up Pop Album of the Year. 7 awards, 1 evening, 1 artist, no competition. Don't go anywhere because Taylor's response to all of this absolutely worth staying for. Now, when you win 7 awards in one night, what do you even say? How do you respond to an Olympic gold medalist calling you the GOAT of music in front of the entire world? Taylor Swift walked to that mic and, instead of making it about herself, she made it about Alysa. She looked directly at her and said something that the entire crowd felt in their chest. She told Alysa that watching her perform brought her, and everyone watching, so much happiness. She said she was inspired, genuinely inspired by Alysa's diligence. And I was so inspired by how much diligence and in work and effort and in love you have, her work ethic, her love for what she does. And coming from Taylor Swift, a woman who has rebuilt her entire career from the ground up twice, that means something real. These weren't rehearsed lines. This wasn't a PR moment. This was one artist recognizing another. One woman who pours everything into her craft, saluting another woman who does exactly the same thing. But then Taylor kept going. And what she said next, this is the part that nobody is talking about enough. Stay right there. With Travis Kelce sitting in that audience with cameras on her from every angle, Taylor Swift got honest. She told the crowd something surprisingly vulnerable for someone standing at the very top of the music industry. She said she didn't always see herself as an artist. Let that sink in. The woman who just won 7 awards in one night, the woman who was just called the GOAT of music by an Olympic champion, didn't always believe she was an artist. She said it started as a hobby, just a hobby, something she did for herself before it became her favorite thing in the entire world. And then she said something that felt less like an award speech and more like a life lesson. She told everyone in that room and everyone watching to nurture their passion privately, just between themselves and their craft, without waiting for outside validation, without needing anyone else's approval to keep going. From a woman who spent years fighting to own her own music, fighting to be taken seriously, fighting to reclaim her own story, those words, music, carry weight. This wasn't Taylor Swift, the superstar talking. This was Taylor Swift, the girl who once just loved writing songs, reminding everyone that the purest version of your passion exists before the world ever sees it. And that is why this night was bigger than just 7 awards. One more segment. And this one ties everything, music, together perfectly. So, let's zoom out for a second because when you look at this entire night, all of it together, something really powerful emerges. You have Alysa Liu, a girl who retired at 16, who came back stronger, who won 2 Olympic gold medals, who skated to her own rhythm when everyone expected something more traditional. And you have Taylor Swift, a girl who started writing songs as a hobby, who fought to own her music, who reinvented herself over and over again without ever asking for permission. 2 completely different worlds, 2 completely different crafts, but the same DNA. Both of them built something real by refusing to shrink themselves for anyone. And on that stage on Thursday night, their worlds collided in the most unexpected, most genuine, most human way possible. An Olympic champion telling a pop star she helped her win gold. A pop star telling an Olympic champion she inspired her deeply. No agenda, no script, just 2 women at the absolute top of their fields, genuinely celebrating each other. In a world that constantly tries to pit women against each other, this moment was a reminder of what it looks like when they lift each other up instead. And that is what made this more than just an award show moment. That's what made it historic. So the next time someone asks you who the GOAT of music is, you already know the answer. An Olympic gold medalist said it on one of music's biggest stages in front of thousands of people on live television. Case closed. If you made it this far, thank you genuinely. Drop a GOAT in the comments if you think Taylor deserves that title. And if you think someone else should hold that crown, I want to hear it. Comment below. Let's actually have that debate. Don't forget to like this video. It helps more people find this content. And subscribe if you want more breakdowns like this one. Clears throat music.